Hey, what's up? Welcome to another rock hard tale of the tape, best of cassettes. Today we're going to look at Enuff's Enuff, their debut from 1989, self-titled release. Band started right around 84, Chicago area. Chip Enuff and Donnie Vai were the main songwriters. In the early days, Alex Kane was in the band. He ended up going on to Life, Sex, and Death, actually. But then they got Derek Frigo and Vicky Fox in the band. And, they played around for a while before they got this album released. They weren't your typical big hair band. They kind of had the look a little bit. I'm sure the label steered them in that direction somewhat. But while a lot of the hair bands were influenced more, by Aerosmith, Kiss, Led Zeppelin, you had Enuff's Enuff, who were obviously more influenced by the Beatles and the Cheap Trick to some extent. Their music was trippy at times. It was mellow and melodic at times, but they were just a great band. Chip and Donnie, just two of the most prolific songwriters of the last 30, 40 years. I know that's very strong words, but you know what? They could write some awesome hooks. They could have made a career just writing hit songs, I think, for pop stars, as they could just really write some catchy tunes. And there were a lot of them on this one, from New Thing, which was the first release, Fly High Michelle, which was kind of a mid-tempo ballad, very, very trippy, airy kind of song. But you know what? They fit the era well enough. Unfortunately for them, they got kind of labeled as a hair band, too, even though I think there was more to them than that. They were certainly an interesting band. This release was a good variety of songs on here. You had, your pop songs like New Thing, Hot Little Summer Girl, Little Indian Angel, Kiss the Clown. But then you had your ballads, too. Fly High Michelle's kind of a trippy, spaced-out feel. I Can Never Be Without You, the song For Now. Then you had these longer bluesy songs like Into the Groove and Finger on the Trigger. So there was a good variety on this debut from Enuff's Enuff, and certainly got them a lot of attention with the two hits. And, they went into the 90s like all the other bands, grunge starting to take over. But their first three albums were on a major label all through 1993. When Animals with Human Intelligence was released, which happened to be my personal favorite. But, the label thought enough about them to keep them on, even a couple years after a lot of the hair bands were being released from their contracts. And then they went on through the 90s putting out some great records, too, even though they had a little modernized sound to them, if you want to call it, or a little more grungy at times on some of the albums. But they kept writing good songs, and that's what keeps a band around as long as Enuff's Enuff has been around. And they've just been consistent. They've gone to a three-piece sometimes. Donnie has quit the band a couple times, and Chip has been able to take over with the lead vocals. They have very similar styles. Chip's a little bit more raspy with the voice, but he can pull that off live. So they've been around a long time. They're just a great rock band. If you're a fan of the Beatles, you probably can appreciate them just because of the harmonies and the melodies these guys pull off are just really amazing. But, if you're a fan of the hair bands, too, you also can appreciate them because they did put a little bit of the edge and a little bit of the crunch in there. Closest band I could probably compare them to would probably be Cheap Trick, just because of the variety of songs that they've had over the years. But I like this one a lot. It was a great debut. I think they got a little stronger each album until Animals with Human Intelligence, but you can't deny this had the big songs on it with New Thing and Fly High Michelle. So find this one. Give Enuff's Enuff another chance. Easy for me to say. And we'll see you next time for another rock hard tale of the tape. Best of cassettes. Check us out online at rockandhardplace.rocks.